Well, good afternoon. It's Wednesday afternoon. Spring has finally come to Connecticut, and it's only going to last for a day or so because I understand tomorrow is going to be cold rain, perhaps snow, all those lovely things of March and early April that happens in this corner of the world. I'm recording this afternoon because it finally happened. I got a couple of questions from more than one person asking a little bit about the project, a little bit of confusion, which I expected. And so just let me issue a couple of clarifications, try to answer some questions, and let you know where things ought to be going. Basically, the two questions that people have come up with come into two related but somewhat different categories. Number one is, what role do I play? What role do we play? Which company am I part of? The answer basically is, as the questions have been answered for most of the questions about the product, up to you. But what you're going to be doing is, again, putting yourself in a role of senior management that has been asked by the most senior management to make this merger work. That means now you could have either come out of the Saab side or the Spyker side of the business. That's up to you and your group to decide. But what you need to do is put yourself in that senior role and be looking more as a member of the management team of the new company going forward. Your position in the past may have played a role in developing your perspective, but you're coming at it from someone who, as part of the merged group, is being asked to come up with a plan to make the new project work. That's how I think you need to approach it. Very senior level. You're going to be putting it together at that top-down view. This brings me to the other section of what I wanted to talk about this afternoon. People have asked, quite simply, again, what's the project got to look like? What's the final work product? What's going to be? Is it a PowerPoint? Is it a presentation? And the answer to that, again, is fairly ambiguous, but I think fairly simple. It needs to be an executive level presentation. What would you put together for the highest level of your company, or say the investors in your company? These are projects of a very large nature. One of the reasons I've done it this way, as I've mentioned before, most of the projects we get to work on in our management careers are not projects of our own choosing. That's why I presented you with sort of the done deal. You've got to come through and make this project work. You didn't have a choice on what to work on. So approach it from that perspective. You've been presented with this major project by the most senior management of your company. How, in a very brief, because really that's all the time we have, but very, very forceful and very powerful presentation, how are you going to get across your plan, your strategy? And remember, we're not looking for a report on what's been happening in the real world. What's been happening in the real world with the two companies, yeah, that's got a lot to do with it. That's your starting point. But what I want to see is, what is your plan? What would you do? And how would you present that is totally up to you. But needless to say, it needs to be very professional and of the highest quality. If you wouldn't bring it in the boardroom, don't bring it into this classroom. That's really the way to do it. I know that sounds a little blunt, a little arrogant, but that's the level I want you to be working at. So I hope this answers some questions for you, and I'm looking forward to the result. Thank you very much.